So your brain is it's basically hardwired to keep you exactly as you are right now. Like even if you desperately want to reclaim this old vibrant part of your identity, the second you try, your nervous system is probably going to sound an alarm.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So welcome to today's deep dive. We are getting highly personal today for you, the listener, exploring that emotional friction of trying to feel like yourself again.
Right. And we're pulling from a deeply resonant blog post by Karrie today. It's titled, The Part No One Talks About When You're Trying to Come Back to Yourself.
Such a good piece.
It really is. And our mission today is to decode why stepping back into your own skin feels so, well, unnatural at first, and why that intense discomfort is actually a signal of massive progress.
Because, I mean, society loves to romanticize the aha moment, right? You decide to find yourself again, and supposedly the clouds just part.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just magic.
Exactly. But, and this is the part no one tells you, when you actually try to show up again, it can feel incredibly awkward. Like you put more intention into getting ready, maybe choosing an outfit with a bit more flair, and suddenly it feels like you're wearing a costume. It feels like you're trying too hard.
Which is so common.
Hmm.
And women frequently interpret that specific awkwardness as a stop sign.
Oh, completely.
Right, like when everyday moments, taking a little extra time in front of the mirror, adding a small detail to your look, when that suddenly feels like a lot, the immediate internal narrative becomes, maybe this isn't me anymore. Or, maybe that version of me is just gone.
Yeah, which is so heartbreaking to think.
It is. But to understand what's really happening, we have to look at the mechanics of identity.
Yeah.
It's not a fixed personality trait. It's actually a series of rehearsed neurological habits.
Wow. Okay, this made me realize it's exactly like wearing a favorite ring you haven't worn in years.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Right. Like it feels heavy and kind of foreign on your hand at first. But that actually leads me to push back a little on this process. Because if it feels this awkward and, our brain is resisting it that hard, how do we know we aren't just forcing an identity that genuinely doesn't fit our current life anymore?
That is such a fair question. And that friction is tricky because it mimics the feeling of being inauthentic. But Carrie admits something in this post that really made me pause.
What was it?
She wrote, and this is so powerful, she wrote, "It doesn't feel like you yet because you haven't been her in a while."
Oh, wow. Yeah. That completely flips the script. Instead of interpreting the friction as a warning that you're faking it or forcing it, you have to read it as growing pains. I love how Carrie explained that it's not that it's wrong, it's just unfamiliar again.
Exactly. It's not a warning to stop. It's a sign you're stepping back into yourself.
Hmm.
And that navigation is really what makes this in-between phase so highly vulnerable.
Because you're just kind of suspended there.
Yes. You don't fully feel like the old version of you, but you haven't settled into the new you either. Because identity is a practice. You haven't lost yourself. You simply haven't practiced being her.
Which makes sense. Anything you haven't rehearsed recently will feel a little off at first. You can tell Carrie really understands this stage of life, especially that imposter syndrome that creeps in when you're just like standing in your closet.
Oh, the closet is the hardest part.
It really is. But practically speaking, how do we handle the mechanics of sitting in that in-between space? Like when you look in the mirror and second guess that extra detail you added to your outfit, how do you push past those alarm bells?
You have to consciously choose to override your nervous system's preference for the familiar. You acknowledge the hesitation, recognize it as just the lack of recent practice, and you wear the outfit anyway.
You just do it anyway.
Yeah, you take the extra 10 minutes for yourself anyway. Discomfort doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's new again.
I love that so much. Well, if this conversation feels familiar in any way, you'll really want to read Carrie's full blog. So for you listening right now, here is your challenge for today. Notice one small moment where putting effort into yourself feels slightly uncomfortable and choose it anyway.
Lean right into that friction.
Yes. You can read the full blog and explore more of Carrie's favorites and sparkle tools at thesparklelounge.com.
And to leave you with one final thought to mull over today. If the discomfort of coming back to yourself is really just a lack of practice, what dormant part of your identity is simply waiting for you to rehearse it again today?